This is the informal meeting for December 12th, 2016. Meeting minutes, copies of draft minutes from the November 7th, November 15th, and November 21st and 29th have been provided to the council members, and they have also been posted on the city website. The city treasurer's report is for November 30th, 2016 is located in the binder and for council review. Committee reports are on the alderman's desks and also posted on the city website. Communications. First communication, results of the 2016 general election for the Columbia County Board of Elections. Resolutions. Appointing commissioners of deeds. May I have an introduction and a second? Rick? Deuce? The next resolution is authorizing the mayor to enter an agreement with West Powell to provide dog control services. May I have an introduction and a second?
You're welcome.
Henry? Rick? Next is authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Columbia Green Humane Society to provide dog shelter services. May I have an introduction in a second? Tiffany? Rick? Next is authorizing a chargeback to the Columbia County for Greenport EMS services. May I have an introduction and a second? Henry? Tiffany? Next is accepting a donation from the Hudson City School District Community Schools Program. May I have an introduction and a second? Lauren? Tiffany? Next, authorizing a transfer of funds to the police personal services account for the position of crossing guard to ensure safety on the streets in the crosswalks in front of John L. Edwards Elementary School. May I have an introduction and a second? Warren? Rick? Authorizing the transfer of funds for firefighter service award planning. May we have an introduction in a second? Bob? Henry? Authorizing the transfer of funds for the 2015 citywide audit. May I have an introduction and a second? Mike? Tiffany? Approving an agreement with Wendell West Incorporated doing business as Wendell and West for consulting services to the CAC in relation to the natural resources inventory. And is this an acronym here?
Yeah, it's a company name, service name, ARC, GIS.
Okay. Online story map. May I have an introduction in a second? Mike? Second? Henry? Thank you. Accepting a donation on behalf of the Hudson Fire Department. Can I have an introduction in a second? Lauren? Rick? Authorizing encumbrances of matching funds for the LWRP grant. May I have an introduction in a second? Henry Abdus. Increasing funding for Promenade Hill ramp by $80,000. May I have an introduction and a second?
Want to have a discussion with this. In the state, there's two different resolutions supporting the ramp. One is for 80 and one is for 100. And I noticed that miscommunication between myself and the city attorney.
I just put them both in, and you can.
No, I understand. I just wanted to be known.
Yeah, that's what it
We
was.
had agreed on 100,000.
Bruce, would you like to?
I want to say something also because my position, I want to see the job done. 80,000 or 100,000, I don't follow anyone. So as soon as my job done, that is my goal. So 80,000 I put in as well. I was discussed a couple of my friends calling before here, and that's why I already put in $80,000 due to their solution and their respect. So question is, I see there is something about they have $60,000 and 80,000 or 137. Mayor also told I discussed with they will become law if it's possible some come down material they will become like. That's why I was thinking it is possible to $80,000. If 100,000, it's will overcome because they have the better. My position is this project is done. If some mayor get some grant or mayor get some money or material come down, it will be deducted from that any resolution, money and with the city. So that is my goal. So anyone, everybody agree on that. I'm not difference or something.
Yeah, I was going to say that's why, it's important, and I know we all agree that this is an important project that needs to be completed and supported by the council. And as Abdu stated, that's the same reason for having the 100,000 in place. Now, the mayor said that she would go out and see if she can seek private funding that can go towards the ramp. And she also stated that she would see if she can reduce the cost of the materials. Now, we don't know how that has started, if she has anything in place yet. If she does, by the time the construction would start in the spring, that would be wonderful, and it would be deducted from the 100,000 or the 80,000, whichever resolution is supported. But the point being is to have it placed on the side, so just in case the mayor is not successful in succeeding in private funding or getting the cost lower, but the people will be ensured that the project will still continue to move forward.
Rick?
How much money is currently set aside for the ramp?
Well, according to the email that we all received from the mayor, 60,000 is currently aside, and I noticed that in both resolutions, it only says 20,000, but it is 60,000, and that email was sent to all of us on November 22nd.
Does that break down the 60,000 typically?
Excuse me?
Does that break down the 60,000? I know we did 20,000 last year.
Yes.
For a temporary ramp.
Right,
20,000.
20,000 was set aside.
20,000 was for the temporary
Right.
ramp, and it was another 20,000 that was from the meters.
No, 25.
That was 25 on the block, on the second street of Warren.
Right.
The remainder of that, I'm not sure, and it's not,
She got it.
and it's not written in this particular email, but I know it is throughout all the exchanges that we had. This one I was able to pull up while we were sitting here, and she states the ramp will cost about $155,000, and we currently have $60,000 allocated. So with that being said, if she can successfully receive private fundings and get costs lowered from the materials, then that would be deducted from whichever resolution is supported, and that would go back into the general funds. But like I said, if she's not successful in receiving private funding, then the people will be secure to know that the project will still continue in the spring.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, that being said, we have two resolutions. And the first one is the one to support the increase in funding by $80,000. Can I have an introduction and a second for that?
So what are you saying?
No, I'm saying to support the 100,000. The cost of the ramp is 155.
Abdu, she want the 80?
If we have,
You, okay.
I
I'm
say,
the only one, so nobody says.
no,
Is there a second?
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
two.
the 100.
That's
That's the one with 100, that's.
Well, we're moving on to that next.
Okay.
The next resolution is increasing the funding for the Promenade Hill ramp by $100,000. Can I have an introduction and a second? Tiffany? Bob? And
I just want to, so that 20,000 things on the resolution should be
It's
amended to 60?
incorrect,
It's been,
yes.
okay, other additional money come in since, all right. We can revise
that
that.
needs to be confirmed.
Yeah, I'll check with that.
I mean, if she can get the cost lowered, great, then we don't have to use the whole budget.
That would be introduced with the revision with the revision and the number. And the last resolution of the evening is authorizing a loan from the general fund to the water fund to provide sufficient funds to meet current obligations. May I have an introduction and a second, please? Henry, Mike,
I think your lights are on in your car, I'll just turn them off real quick. Maybe you keep- Sorry.
We're going for a joyride.
is there anything else anybody would like to discuss? Oh, okay, one
my
second.
God.
Did you do the LWRP?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Gotcha.
Ken?
Yeah, I just want to mention, I'm sure everybody knows that the governor signed into law the authorization to enact the lodging tax. So the city is now authorized to do that. As we talked to the treasurer, there's some forms and procedural things that need to be put into place. So you probably all talked about this already, but just want to make sure that the infrastructure for it was in order before actually passing the law, which shouldn't take very long. But that's why it didn't come up this month. But try to get everything that needs to be done in place as quickly as possible.
So we need to vote on a local law that puts this into place here in Hudson.
Yeah, the local law was written,
Right.
sent to the state,
Legislature and the
then
governor.
passed law, the state law authorizing that, but now you have to actually enact that. But just want to make sure that the support and infrastructure and forms and processes are in place so that people know how to deal with it. But we'll try to do that right away.
Any other discussion? Council? Public? John? John? Mr. Dunn?
Hi, Steve Dunn.
Steve, excuse me.
What infrastructure is necessary, out of curiosity? I know commission needs to be formed apparently to manage the
That
thing.
and just the paper, the handling, the forms, what people may need to do to get taxed, register, just administrative things is more, not physical infrastructure, but just organizational, administrative things to make sure that they.
Is somebody planning to send letters to all the
That's what I don't
hotels?
know Was
To
that-
tell them the good news.
Well, those are things that need to be done, so,
I mean, otherwise, they may not comply, that'd be unfortunate.
so that's kind of what I mean. We've got to talk to the treasurer, how these taxes are handled, what needs to be done to put in place so that when the law is effective, that it's working.
Thank
Anything else? Okay, before I ask for an adjournment, don't forget to sign your papers, please. If there's nothing else, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn. Rick, Henry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I don't think so.
Take care, Andy.